Good morning, students. In my previous class, I have discussed Boyle's law with you, and the Boyle's law is a relationship between volume and pressure when temperature is kept constant. There are three parameters which we are discussing in these laws: volume, pressure, and temperature. So in Boyle's law, temperature is constant, and how the volume varies as the pressure changes. That is what we did. So in Boyle's law, volume is inversely proportional to pressure. If we apply more pressure, if we compress a gas, volume would be decreased. So, right? So volume is inversely proportional to pressure. We discussed the law. Then the relationship V1 P1 is equal to V2 P2 is known as volume. This Boyle's relationship for gas laws, and we did some numericals based on that. Now further. Now if pressure is kept constant, how does the volume vary when the temperature changes? Now that is the second law. Now obviously now pressure is constant. You can imagine that it is 1 atmosphere pressure, the normal pressure which we are having on the Earth's surface, right? Nothing is changing. I have put up the experiment on the table only. So it is 1 atmospheric pressure normally. So pressure is constant. And if a gas is in some container and we increase the temperature of that. Now, if you increase the temperature, that temperature goes in increasing the kinetic energy of the molecules. So molecules start running away from each other in all directions with greater energy and all. So they occupy more volume. They move away from each other and they occupy more volume. That means as we increase the temperature, volume increases. So if temperature increases, volume increases. Similarly, if temperature is decreased, we cool down the gas, then volume also decreases. So so by this what we conclude, that volume is directly proportional to temperature. Temperature increases, volume also increases. Well, that is the second law which was proposed by, let's do that, which was proposed by Jacques Charles, name of the scientist, Jacques Charles. So that is why it is known as Charles' law. It is known as Charles' law. When the word law is there, we'll have to learn it, right? The law is to memorize. So what does the Charles' law state? Out of the two parameters, what was kept constant? Pressure constant. Pressure is kept constant, and what are the variants here? What are the two things which would vary? That would be volume and temperature would be the variance. Okay. Well, the law. Pressure, it is just like Boyle's law, few changes. Pressure remaining constant. Pressure remaining, you should learn it with me. Pressure remaining constant. Pressure remaining constant. Volume of a fixed, this is also important, volume of a fixed mass of a dry gas. Now, because mass will not change during the experiment, volume of a fixed mass of a dry gas is directly proportional. Direct proportion. That means if one increases parameter, the other also increases. If temperature increases, volume increases. If this parameter decreases, temperature decreases, volume decreases. Side by side. So direct proportional. Pressure remaining constant, volume of a fixed mass of dry gas is directly proportional to its absolute temperature. I'll be discussing what is absolute word, but at the moment you remember to its temperature. But in the law we will be writing absolute temperature. I'll be telling you today that what do we mean by that term absolute temperature. Okay. So pressure remaining constant, volume of a fixed mass. Do not forget fixed mass, because mass cannot change during the experiment. We cannot add any amount of gas during the experiment, or we cannot remove the gas. So fixed mass of a dry gas is directly proportional to its absolute temperature. This is the Charles law. So that means volume is, this is a proportionality sign, is directly proportional to temperature, and what is the condition? Pressure constant. So to make it equal, we'll have to put proportionality constant T, and if I bring T to this side, that means volume upon its absolute temperature should be a constant value. Should be a constant value. Okay. We continue further. If we have a set of gas which is at original volume and at original temperature, original volume and original temperature, then according to Charles law it should be constant, fixed. Same gas, same pressure, if it occupies volume V2 at temperature T2, then also it would be what? Constant. So if we compare the two, we get the Charles law relationship, which says V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T2. That is V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T2. Right? Well, this is the Charles relationship. Let's recap quickly, then I'll proceed further. So, the law which tells us about the relationship between volume and temperature when pressure is constant is Charles law. Charles law is for volume temperature relationship. And it states, you have to learn this, children, pressure remaining constant, volume of a fixed mass of dry gas is directly proportional to its absolute temperature. This is the relationship according to which we get this Charles formula. Charles formula here. This. Alright. Well, when the experiment was done, this is, you can say, the simplified version, but you have to learn this. It would be better, easier law to learn. But he actually, Jacques Charles actually was able to tell that how much the temperature increases or decreases. Okay, I'll just explain that to you a little bit. The law which I have just erased, that I am asking you to learn, is a little simplified version, and it's that if you learn that would be sufficient to write in the exam. But actual Charles law is, well, it states, suppose I'll just let you know what it is. This is a gas at constant pressure, say 1 atmospheric pressure, normal pressure, and this is the volume of the gas at 0 degree centigrade. There is a gas, and what is the temperature? Temperature is 0 degree centigrade. So 0 degree, I write it T0. It would be 0. Well, he found that if the temperature is increased by 1 degree centigrade, temperature becomes 1 degree centigrade, increased by 1 degree centigrade, the volume increases by how much? If I divide this into 273 parts, say this is 1 by 273 of what? V0. What I am saying? If I divide this volume into how many parts? How many parts I am dividing? Into 273 parts. So this is one, I have just taken this as to be as what? 1 by 1 part of 273 of what? Of this volume. How much I have taken? 1 part of 273 parts of this volume. So what did Charles say? If temperature increases by 1 degree centigrade, volume increases by how much? 1 by 273 of its original volume at 0 degree centigrade. That means what would be the rise in volume? It would be how much, children? Which is 1 by this much only. How much is this value? Which I have shown here. So this is how much? It increases by 1 by 273 of its original volume at 0 degree centigrade. Well, if it increases by 1 degree, then it also, okay, suppose I increase the temperature by 10 degrees centigrade. So how much would be the volume increase? 10 times of how much? 10 by 273 of its volume at 0 degree centigrade. So how much the volume would increase? Now this total increase would be how much? This I am talking about it how much? V volume at 10 degree centigrade would be 10 times of 1 by 273rd of its volume at 0 degree centigrade. So this is what he observed, and this was his experimental calculation, that volume increases, if in temperature increases, volume increases, and if we decrease the temperature, volume by side decrease also. If we decrease the temperature, volume would decrease by the same amount. Well, I'll just write the actual Charles law. I'll write it here. This I'll let it be here only. And what does it say? Pressure, initial is same, pressure remaining constant. This is also given in your book, just underneath the heading of Charles law. Pressure remaining constant, volume of a fixed, volume of a, I am writing a little smaller, fixed mass, you can check in your book, fixed mass of dry gas. Volume of a fixed mass of dry gas increases or decreases, or decreases by how much? By 1 by 273rd, 1 by 273 of its original volume at 0 degree centigrade for each degree centigrade rise or fall in temperature. Well, little lengthier. As I said, you can easily learn the simpler version when if you are asked state Charles law. It's a very common question, it can be asked easily. Then you can write the easier version. This is the actual Charles law. I'll read it again. Pressure remaining constant, that is definitely there. This is also same. Volume of a fixed mass of dry gas, that is also there. Increases or decreases by how much? By 1 by 273. We have to divide that original volume into how many parts? 273 parts. So increases or decreases by 1 by how much? 1 by 273 of what? Of what parts of what? Of its original volume at 0 degree centigrade. Whatever the volume was at 0 degree centigrade. For each degree centigrade rise, it increases. Rise or fall in temperature. Or fall in temperature. If temperature decreases, it decreases by the same value. And if the temperature increases, it increases by the same value. Okay. Little interesting. Well, this is a interesting version of Charles law. We can do little bit of derivation. Okay, let's do little bit of derivation. Right? So I have to find volume at how much? Say this is the volume at 0 degree, right? And I have to find volume at 10 degrees centigrade. So it should be what? Original volume at 0 degree, V0. It increases by how much? 10 times of 1 by 273 at V0. So at 10 degrees centigrade, what should be the volume? V0 plus 10 by 273 of V0. I hope it is clear. Because if temperature increases, volume increases by how much? For each degree. For 1 degree, it is 1 by 273. So for 10 degrees, it increases by 10 by 273 of what? Its original volume at 0 degree. I have taken this. Now let's simplify. We can take out mathematically 0 common. The volume at V0 common. 1 plus 10 by 273. This would be the volume at how many degrees? 10 degrees centigrade. Now law says volume increases or decreases, right? Increases or decreases. For by this 1 by 273, for each degree rise or fall. So it increases if the volume is minus 10 degrees centigrade, children, then what should happen? Cooling, volume. What should happen when the temperature is minus 10 degrees centigrade? Well, instead of increases, it should decrease, subtract. So I'll change here only. V0, 1 minus 10 upon 273. I am doing this so that I can explain you an important conclusion of his experiment. So minus 10 degrees, this should be the volume. Okay, let's say it is minus 100 degrees centigrade. Temperature is again cool. So what should be the volume? V0, 1 minus 100 upon 273. Yes or no? Further. Any problem? I will take it this side. Suppose the temperature is minus 273 degrees centigrade. Cooling, further cooling, it reaches minus 273 degrees centigrade. What should be the volume at minus 273 degrees centigrade? It would be original volume 1 minus 273 upon 273. Well, you can see this is reducible to 1. That would be V0, 1 minus 1. That is V0 into 0. And you know, volume at minus 273. Anything multiplied by 0 would be what? 0. 0 unit, whatever unit, 0 unit. 0 degree, 0. Which you know is not possible. Why? If we started with certain amount of gas here, molecules, there were certain molecules, definitely matter was there, right? We cool it to minus 273. We cool it to minus 273. It should decrease finally. Okay, I agree, it should decrease. It is decreasing. Okay, volume is decreased. Say it is very less. Very less. But can it be 0? No. It cannot vanish. It cannot just disappear. So volume cannot be 0 at minus 273 degrees centigrade. Well, that is why minus 273 degrees centigrade is hypothetical. It's just a theoretical temperature. The law concludes that minus 273 degrees centigrade we cannot attain. It is a hypothetical temperature, or you can say it's the lowest temperature which we can theoretically think of. Okay. So, well, let's go back. What we have reached, I'll just take up. So this temperature, minus 273 temperature, which is a hypothetical temperature, is called as absolute zero. That is the conclusion. Temperature minus 273 degrees state which is hypothetical, it is not possible to attain such a low temperature. It can be just be written in books and all. We cannot attain such low, exactly this temperature, is known as absolute zero. Absolute zero. This temperature of minus 273 degrees centigrade. So that means this is the lowest temperature possible. Theoretically also lowest temperature possible. So if we start the scale of temperature which begins from the lowest possible temperature, so 0 is at the lowest possible temperature, then all the values of temperature will be higher than that, because whatever is lowest, that is 0. Then any other temperature will be higher than this. So all the values will be positive. So the temperature scale which starts with minus 273 degrees as 0 is called as absolute scale of temperature. Is known as what? Absolute scale of temperature, also known as Kelvin scale. That is what is absolute temperature or Kelvin temperature. Kelvin scale of temperature. Either you say Kelvin or you say absolute scale of temperature, both are same. So, what is the beginning of Kelvin scale? What is 0 Kelvin? For Kelvin, children, remember, this is looking okay, I'll remember. We don't put degree sign. So, minus 273 degrees centigrade is actually what? 0, I'll write Kelvin here, 0 Kelvin. Don't put degree for Kelvin, only for here we put degree but not for Kelvin, right? So, this is the lowest for Kelvin scale. And to convert any centigrade to Kelvin, you remember we did it earlier also, we just add 273 and vice versa, you just subtract 273. So it would be converted from centigrade to Kelvin. And since all values in Kelvin scale, minimum is 0, so all values in Kelvin scale are positive values. We'll never have any negative value. We'll not even have 0. This I just told you is what? Absolute is hypothetical. It is just imaginary. Since all values are positive in Kelvin scale, in our all calculations, we use only temperature at which scale? Kelvin scale of temperature. We don't use in our calculations for centigrade, in our numericals and all. We'll be using only Kelvin scale values. That means we'll convert all centigrade values to Kelvin scale and then proceed. And what's the reason for that? We'll not have 0. Otherwise, multiplying by 0, everything changes to 0 only. So we won't have 0. We will not have any negative values for temperature. So that is what you'll be remembering. So I'll just take one numerical quickly before I wind up the class. I'll take up 1 or 2 numericals, then I'll take up further numericals in my next class. Well, let's see that. A quick numerical on Charles' law. So I have taken up numerical in which pressure is constant. So it is a gas is at 77 degrees centigrade. The temperature is decreased by 20 degrees centigrade. The gas is at 77 degrees centigrade. Full stop. The temperature is decreased by 20 degrees centigrade. Then the volume of gas is 900 milliliters. Find original volume of gas. Find original volume of gas. Well, pressure is constant. It's understood. When they have not given any values of pressure, it is understood pressure is constant. I'll read the question again. A gas is at this temperature. Then the temperature, this is the next statement. Temperature is decreased by 20 degrees centigrade. Then the volume of gas is 900 milliliter. Find the original volume of the gas. Find the original volume of the gas. Again, just like in Boyle's law, as I've told you, how will you proceed? Remember, initial, and what is the next heading? Final. Always we'll put it. Now we have two parameters, V1 and T1. Pressure is not there. This would be V2 and T2. Original volume, see, read the question. It's important because by the language of the question you should understand what is unknown and which one is given for that. So gas is at 77 degrees centigrade. Full stop. The temperature is decreased by 20. By 20 means T2 would be 77 minus 20 means 57 degrees centigrade. Then when this is decreased by this, then the volume is 900 milliliters. So I write it here 900 ml. Find the original volume. This is the question mark. Always remember, this is one mistake some children do. Never proceed with centigrade, always change to Kelvin. So change to Kelvin, 273 add up, 0, 14, 15, 350. So this would be definitely children because as 1 degree Kelvin is same as 1 degree, 1 Kelvin is same as 1 degree centigrade. So it would also be decreased by, I'll write it first and let's check, 330 Kelvin. Now let's check, plus 273. Do you get 330? 5, 8 plus 5, yes. If this is centigrade decreases by 20, Kelvin also decreases by 20. It's same, 1 degree centigrade is same as 1 Kelvin. Well, we have got it. Now we need the Charles formula. Remember, V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T2. Since I have to find V1, I'll cross multiply. V1 is V2 T1 upon T2. Now substitute the value. V1 is equal to V2 is 900, T1 is 350 and T2 is 330. Cancel off 1, 11, 3. Well, we are getting a fraction which would be recurring. So first I'll just multiply 15, 2 zeros, 9, 1 0 by 11. Well, 11 into 9 is 99, 6 0, 5, 55, 5 0, 4, 44, 6 0, 5, 55, 5 0, 4, 4 0, 6, 5. Well, round off, always find up to 3 decimal places and round off to 2 decimal places. Your answer is 954.55 unit, always the unit given for the corresponding value in the question, milliliters. So the original volume is 954.55 milliliters. We'll just check the calculation error and all if it is there. Because let's check it out. I think we are correct. So this is how you are going to do this numerical and other numericals based on Charles. So we'll practice the numericals and my next class we'll be doing further, little bit one more step further. If both temperature and pressure changes, then how the volume changes, that I'll discuss in my next class. Till that time, learn this law and practice the numericals which are given as solved examples in your textbook. Okay? Take care children. God bless you.